Okay, so welcome back, you guys, for another week of the 411 podcast. I am your host, Devin Townsend, aka DTV, and I am here with the incomparable
Aww.
Madison Murray. My girl, she's just doing it. She's the host of the Majestic Mix podcast. And Go Puff Ambassador, my fellow colleague. It sounds so weird to say that.
It does.
You hear older people say it, but it sounds so weird to say it. But my fellow JLNC colleague.
Yes.
But anyway, thanks for being on the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I just know it's gonna be so fun.
I think it's gonna be fun too. I'm excited. Last week, you guys, if you've been following my show, then last week I gave y'all one of my watch list shows to watch. I've been hearing good reports about what was it last week? I forgot. The Undoing. The Undoing was last week. I got some good feedback. This week, you guys, I need you to watch, if you haven't already, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Everybody, you got to watch it. I mean, I'm not gonna say too much for the people who haven't seen it, but I will just say Viola. First off, it's Viola. But second off, I just want to say, as far as her role or this role in general, I really feel like this is something I haven't seen. Mostly because she's the character, Ma Rainey, is so bold. Especially in the time of the 1920s where it wasn't okay for Black people to be as bold and as brave and as adamant and as so outspoken as she was. Because if you've seen it, the way she was talking to these people, I'm like, oh, they're not about to take you out back, are they? But that just shows how much power she had. But great movie. I highly recommend it. That and The Ripper. I'm watching that. I'm all about a serial killer. So if you about a serial killer, The Ripper is on Netflix.
Yes.
It's a great documentary. They're talking about Jack the Ripper, this guy who's in England. So that's another watch. For my watch listers out there, make sure you let me know how that goes. Maddie, we're gonna go right into it. So
okay.
If you've been looking at Twitter, like I have, I've seen some tweets here and there about the vaccine.
Yes.
We're going straight into the COVID conversation. With 300,000 more than 300,000 Americans dead and 1 million worldwide so far and counting. The COVID vaccine has just been approved by the FDA, and they've already started shooting out these vaccines. Many people on Twitter, many people on social media really are just, well, from what I'm seeing, they're not that trusting of this vaccine that's out. In my research, there was this report this survey done by Kaiser Family Foundation. It's a nonprofit health group that conducted a survey where 1/3 of African Americans are concerned with getting the vaccine. Now, amongst the other, not just African Americans, it says that there are Republicans and 30 to 39-year-olds who are the most vaccine hesitant. A lot of concern being the side effects, which are, from what I've read, minor side effects: headache, fatigue, and then there's the lack of confidence in the process that it took for these scientists to really analyze, I guess, the different minorities, different races that this could affect, because everybody's different. So everybody's genes are different. So there's that. And then a lot of people don't trust the government. So a lot of people don't trust the government. They don't trust this vaccine. I just read a report from Forbes that said there is a warning of HIV infection, an increased of HIV infection. So, Matt, what are your thoughts about this vaccine?
Honestly, I'm still doing my own research because I know some people that do trust it and are on the end where they know people who have done the studies about what's in the vaccine and they're already trusting it. But then also, being a Black woman, I know how the healthcare system can be against Black women and against, Black men. It's kind of like intimidating. Me, vaccine-wise, of course, growing up, we had to go to school and get certain vaccines in order to
Right.
be in school, which
Right.
is cool and all. But it took a long time to get the more serious vaccines. And here, the COVID vaccine only took basically a few months because the virus it's been here a year now, but people actually studying it and developing this vaccine, that short period of time, I can see why there's a lot of mistrust and why people don't want to take the vaccine. And for me right now, I'm kind of at the point where I want to do a little bit more research before I say whether I'm for or against it. But I can understand why people are getting it because this is super serious.
Mm. Not to make it too political, but do you understand or do you trust your government first off? Do you trust the government in this process? Do you trust the government in them displaying this or pushing out this vaccine? I don't think
I'm
so
a little sen-
because they had to. I understand they had to try to find something because
Yes.
it kind of just came out of nowhere. Um, but a lot of people are untrusting of their government. How do you concur with these people who are kind of like, I don't know about the government, I don't trust them, or is it more the vaccine that you're a little bit about?
Honestly, I would say the government. I'm more so the government than the vaccine because, like I said, I don't really know too much of what's in it yet at this point. But the government is saying that it is like a thing that we need to be consuming.
Right.
I saw. I think it was on Twitter. Somebody was saying what I kind of already brought up earlier about going to school and getting certain vaccines. That they feel like that the COVID vaccine is going to be one of those vaccines to where if you want entry somewhere, you're gonna have to take it.
Right.
And so, I'm trying to, like I want to, but I just kind of want to see what happens first with everybody that's taking the vaccine.
That's where I kind of am. Do you believe that these PR stunts, I kind of think of them as PR stunts, just because of the fact that they're using the media to, I guess, heighten this scenario where they've been using past presidents. I know I remember seeing a report of Obama and
Yes.
Clinton and Bush agreeing to take the vaccine on television. A lot of health officials are getting these vaccines on television.
Yes.
So that's what I feel are like PR stunts in a sense. Do you believe that these PR stunts are putting the minds of Americans at ease with them doing this type of thing?
Yes, definitely, because they are pulling people that are more so trustworthy than the average people. Like we already said, the healthcare officials are doing it on camera. We had an A&T alum recently just get the shot, and for us, that's like, oh, an alum is getting the shot. So they're pulling in, of course, trustworthy people, and I'm hoping for the best, and I'm hoping that it's actually the actual vaccine and not just, oh, let me stick this needle in your arm and get it on camera, because I also saw that go around that this doctor was getting the shot in his arm, and turns out there was nothing in the needle or in the syringe.
I saw that yesterday. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It didn't look like anything. Like they're not stabbing him. They're pinching him with the needle. But who's to say it's a needle, and who's to say he's actually getting pinched and what he's getting pinched with?
That makes me so nervous.
Yeah, I caught that too. So I definitely caught that. But in a sense, for me, I'm kind of like, I want to wait and see what. Then again, I'm also iffy about vaccines because I never had to have a vaccine before, except for the school ones you were talking about. But those were
agreed, same.
And this girl at my job yesterday was talking about how she had gotten the flu vaccine the other month, but ended up getting the flu last month.
Oh, I heard two stories about that as
exactly.
Well. So, and I've never had the flu vaccine, and I've never had the flu. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, I know it's going to come eventually because they say everybody gets the flu at least once.
Yes.
So I guess we're going to have to see what happens next year. 2021 is coming fast. I know that they're testing on the elderly first. Well, they're amongst the first. And then certain, I believe medical facilities are going to be getting these vaccines. So I guess we're just going to have to see what happens. It's still kind of too early to tell.
Yes, it's really new.
It's still fresh. So I guess we're going to have to see. I just don't want to turn into a zombie. That's
right.
I do get it because I'm really iffy about that type of thing anyway.
If you think about it, the same way we woke up and Corona was here is the same way we woke up and now we have a vaccine. it's just too fast. Like everything is moving too fast. So I see why people are kind of like trying to take it in before they figure out what they want to do.
Right. So stay tuned, people. Hopefully, check with your. All we can tell you is check with your medical facility, check with your doctors, and see what they say. That's all I can tell you.
Definitely.
We're not doctors here, but switching gears here. So, the Library of Congress, which is basically the largest library in the world, which I didn't know, and is the main research arm of the Congress in the United States. They have this National Film Registry where they add these films that are considered, quote, cultural, historic, or aesthetic importance to the nation's film heritage. Now, this past Monday, they announced Shrek and The Dark Knight would be amongst the 20 that they were putting into the now 800 films that have been listed. So this kind of made me think, since it's the holiday season, and you know, we're talking about movies here. Now they put Miracle on 34th Street and A Christmas Story, which are very old films. I know they're classics. I haven't seen them, but I know them to be classics in this Hall of Fame, quote unquote, list. Mm-hmm. What would you put in this category that definitely needs to be amongst this Hall of Fame list?
I really do enjoy Christmas films. Growing up, I used to watch Rudolph traditionally. So I feel like if Rudolph is not in there.
The clay one? The clay, right? The clay Rudolph.
Yes.
Okay.
I was into a lot of claymation growing up. And I also want to see a Black film in there too. Like, let's get this Christmas going. Let's get some type of, where.
For the culture. The culture.
Yeah, a lot of people who are popular amongst Black culture, and not just Black culture, everybody else's culture. Let's see that in there too. And not just, like we just said, the clay movies. I would love to see things like that. Maybe some Tim Burton, because Tim Burton is amazing when it comes to. Yes, I love Tim Burton.
I saw A Nightmare Before Christmas on the list of holiday movies that people should watch, and that was on there. I've never watched the whole thing.
I think you'll like it.
Do you?
It's pretty cool. I think you'll like it.
I don't know. He's one of those very outlandish artists.
Definitely.
Very outlandish things. And The Nightmare Before Christmas is very it's different. It's from what I've seen, for me it kind of feels like a cross between Halloween and Christmas just thrown together. Is that okay?
He's very like into that horror thing.
That's the vibe it gives me, because he's the same guy, I think. Don't quote me on it, but I think he's the same guy who redid Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp. And when I saw that, I thought to myself, this is trash. But he had, it was just different from me growing up with the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and then you turning it into this guy who's like a psychopath.
I totally agree. Yeah. It's kind of weird.
It was kind of like too weird. That's why I'm kind of like, but Home Alone should definitely be in this list.
Yes, I was going to say that. I'm glad we can agree on that. Home Alone is such a classic.
It's a classic. It's definitely cultural, historic. It has importance. It has value. If you haven't seen Home Alone, what have you been watching?
It's hilarious too. Like there's so many important pieces.
I haven't yet. So which one out of the three? Well, no, there's 4 Home Alones. Which one out of the 4 do you love the most?
I think the first one. It's just something about the first of everything that just it's my favorite. So when I see something like you just said trying to be remade, it's kind of strange because I'm already in love with this one. So if this one doesn't match up to the one that we already have, it's just like, why did you even attempt to do that?
Right. We're on the same page. That's how I feel. Home Alone should definitely be on there. The Grinch with Jim Carrey. Well,
I love Jim Carrey.
I like both. I like the cartoon version for what it is. I like the cartoon version, and not the newer cartoon version, but the older cartoon version. I love that one. But the one with Jim Carrey is hands down my favorite Christmas film.
He's so funny.
He did that film phenomenally, and I don't feel like anybody can hop into those green shoes the way he did.
Definitely not.
Somebody on Twitter said they were questioning him being the villain because he was the one who was shunned out, bullied, just they threw him to the side, which I didn't even think of it like that. But if you think about it, how is he the villain? Because these people, the mayor is really the villain. But that's a whole other
I think so too.
That's a whole
He's
other
the king of green too, because Jim Carrey in that movie and Jim Carrey in The Mask, it's just like you put some green on Jim Carrey, he's gonna nail it.
Come on, King of Green. I am thinking of it like that. He just did that film phenomenally. So I definitely feel like that movie should be in there.
Yes,
so
totally.
The other one, I put a Instagram post up asking on the 401 podcast if somebody felt, what movie should be in there. Someone said Jingle Jangle. It just came out on Netflix.
I've never seen it.
You haven't seen it yet?
I think my family was watching it on Thanksgiving, but the fact that it was Jingle Jangle, I wasn't tuning in because it's Thanksgiving. Like, wait, hold on.
Right.
Maybe tomorrow.
Right. That was the same thing I felt because when it came out, I'm like, it's still November. Like, I gotta get a little time. I love Christmas, but if you do it too early, you'll Christmas yourself out or your holiday yourself out.
That is so true.
So that's why I was just like, I'm gonna wait until December. That way I'm in the vibe. And then when it started, I can be like, okay, what's up? Now, when I started the film, though, I wasn't paying attention. And I think that's what's wrong with a lot of these things that I watch is that I'll start something and I'll have my phone and I'll be looking on my phone. And after I'm scrolling on whatever, I'll get lost into what's happening and then lose it. But it's a musical. That's another thing. And I'm really iffy about musicals. Musicals, you got to have the right one. For me.
Definitely. Some good singers and some good dancing.
And some good
songs. Not just I'm an actor who learned how to sing before this film.
You got to be a good song. It got to put me right because but I don't know. It's like a hate-love relationship with musicals. Because I don't like musicals. But if I line them up, I got Dreamgirls. I got High School Musical.
Top tier.
Yeah, all of these Cheetah Girls. I have all of these musical per se. But it depends on how I vibe with it, I guess.
Yes,
I don't know.
Definitely.
Like that. But anything else you can think of? Everything else is newer. And they say on
I think so, too. Everything else is
newer. And they say it has to be like 10 years old, at least. Even though the Grinch? Yeah, the Grinch is probably about 10 years old by now. But everything else, like the Elves and the other Christmas. This Christmas, I feel like that's like 2011, 2012. That was early Chris Brown.
Yeah, it might be close to the 10-year mark, but not quite.
Yeah, that was when everybody liked Chris Brown, I think.
Oh, so, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, that was a little hot minute ago. But I love your suggestions. I love the suggestions. So to the last topic, year is winding down. We might as well go ahead and give a little list, a little recap, a little review.
Yes.
Of everything that's the best of the best of the best of 2020, even though this year was just trash.
Right.
But so we're gonna go to music. Your idea of the breakout artist of the year, who you got?
To be honest, I sat and I thought about this. I was been thinking about this since October. Mm-hmm. But in my opinion, the breakout star of the year is Miss Victoria Monet. Monet, coming from a writer to her having her own breakout project and people are starting to receive her well. It really just gives me goosebumps because Victoria Monet has been killing it in the game for a while now. But her putting out the Jaguar album, so dope. I can just see the shift in her career. And in my opinion, had it not been for the pandemic, I think her tour would have been so successful. Mm-hmm. She's killing it. I'm really happy.
I'm really surprised that you said that because in my mind, I had a completely different idea of who you thought. So I was trying to come up with other ideas of who to choose. What I thought you were going to say, and my choice was going to be Megan Thee Stallion. Now, although she's been out for a while, I felt this year she really broke out into a bigger platform, a bigger level.
I think she had this year. I do agree with you, but I would say for 2019, she would be my breakout star for 2019. But the biggest year was definitely Megan Thee Stallion, hands down.
Okay. Well, my honorable mentions were Chloe and Halle. Their album, Ungodly Hour, it was just It was great. It was a great
Magical.
album. Their videos, every time you saw their videos were great. Their musical appearances were phenomenal.
That
They
tennis court, they ran that
they
down.
were really artistically in their bag as far as
Uh-huh.
like giving all types of visuals and harmonies and vocals and the list goes on. I thought they did a good job. And then another honorable mention, I was gonna go with Jack Harlow.
Okay, what's poppin'?
Yeah, I felt like he kind of broke out a little. I had never heard of him until that song. So you did something.
Oh, me neither. Me
Right,
too.
right. So in that regard, I felt like, that's a little, a nice little something.
He's being received well too.
Yes.
He's being received really well, and that's
Yeah.
pretty good. I think I need to check him out though.
Yeah.
More.
Definitely. What about the best album?
Ooh, oh, this is so tough. We had a lot of good music this year.
I had a lot.
Oh,
Had a lot of time. I'll go.
Do you have one?
Mine.
You have one.
Mine is Big Sean's Detroit 2.
Oh, that was so good.
Yes, I am a big fan of Big Sean. His first mixtape, Detroit, came out in 2012. It was like a year after I graduated high school. That mixtape was so bomb at the time.
So dope.
So dope at the time. And so when he said that he was coming out with a follow-up, but this time it was going to be an album, I was really skeptical because Big Sean, for me, even though I put him up there with really great lyricists, his work does not accredit his talent. I feel like he has singles that come out. I feel like he has singles that come out and they're great or they're good, but the album won't match what he's giving me or what I want.
Okay.
Because I feel like he gives bars, but he doesn't give me the music that illustrates that bar. Because he can come on somebody's feature and demolish his part, but when it comes to his own, it won't be what he did on somebody's feature.
He's really chill when it comes to his projects. He's really chill.
Yeah.
I noticed that with this album and with the people that he included that was actually from Detroit with the interludes. I thought that was so.
Yes, he did that. Yeah, he did that with the mixtape. He did the exact same thing. So he paid a really good homage. That's why I love that album so much.
Definitely did.
But that's my album. Are you? Megan was good. I feel like Megan
was really good. But one thing I will say about her album, I'm really highly critical of that album because it's giving me mixtape Megan instead of album Megan. Like, I wasn't expecting so many samples, but she delivered every sample so beautifully, and I was really happy about it. Like, from start to finish, it was so good. It was a fun album. I feel like it gave what people thought it was going to give. Like, she had the pop records for the pop girls. She had the stuff where, she just talking her do you know what? Like, she really did really good on this album. I think it really solidified her for real within this industry. Like,
and this is her
having this breakout year. You say what?
This was her first album at that, which I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that she had been coming out with, I was assuming that
album quality, right?
was album quality. So when they were like, when I was reading about it, and they said it was her first album, I'm like, oh. Okay, and then I looked at that. I was like, "Oh, okay." So everything else was like EPs or like just minors. But okay. Anyway.
Chloe and Halle did have a good album too.
Chloe and Halle got a good album. I had a couple of songs off of them that I took. Any men? The Baby. Did he come out with an album?
I think the Baby had a few projects this year because he just dropped the one dedicated to his brother. He has some good projects. Yeah. Nas had a really good project too. I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about King's Disease by Nas, but that was definitely one of my favorite albums this year. It was pretty.
You like Nas?
Yes, I love hip hop. Hip hop is my favorite, all-time favorite. I'm an R&B girl, but hip hop, old hip hop.
Oh, maybe. I feel you all the way. I'm with you though, because I'm a big R&B cat myself, but I love a good hip hop or I love a good rap song. So, what's the best song for you this year?
From that album, I would have to say Full Circle, because that Foxy Brown feature, oh my God.
Not Foxy. Not Foxy.
Miss Foxy came back and delivered. But do you mean like my song of the year or the song off the album?
Well, that was fine. You gave me that. What's the song of the year though?
Ooh, this is so tough. What can I say really did like do it for everybody? To be honest, I would say the Savage remix is the song of the year.
That's mine.
Hearing Beyonce just pop out, Texas on Texas, South,
It did
Bomb.
so well as far as like socials, and I mean, she was already doing well with the single, and a lot
Mm,
of women were wearing shirts that embroidered her lyrics. There were
yeah.
people saying it. It was on videos. It was everywhere. But the additional Queen Bee to the song gave it so much more and so much more money. And
It did.
her first number one. So that's great for her. But yeah,
Even
that
the black creatives thrive off of that because the girl who created the dance ended up being in the video, and
mm,
some of everything, like you just said, the fashion just from a single.
right.
That's iconic. That's so
Right.
iconic.
Yeah. My honorable mentions were Go Crazy with Chris Brown. Um,
Okay,
Blinding Lights with The Weeknd. Even though it came out last year, I don't think it hit until this year.
until this year. See,
Yeah.
it was a lot of songs that did like
That did that.
week towards
They
the
came
end.
out last year, but they didn't hit until this year. And I feel like this
Mhm.
song really hit this year. And then WAP, of course.
Definitely culture
WAP,
shit.
WAP was
So
definitely
many people were debating off of that one song.
because
You
it's
know
a
what?
little. It's well, not even a little. It's risque.
It is very risque, but you know what? The women had a really good year this year, and I'm happy to see it.
Yes, yes. I'm all yeah, definitely advocate for the women showing up and showing out every time. Your favorite book or best book?
Oh, definitely. Relationship Goals by Michael Todd, Pastor Michael Todd. I love that book. I'm on my second read. I'm about to go buy the journal because it really just resonated so well with me. I love it so much.
Okay, okay, okay. Mine is Green Lights. Matthew McConaughey. He's just in there talking about his affirmations, his goals, how he.
Didn't he do the voiceover for that one?
Yes, that's why I
I
got.
love his voice.
Yeah, that's why I got it because he was on Oprah talking, and she did like little clips, and he was just doing an audio of the book because he had an audio book out. That's when I got the audio book, and so I'm listening, and I'm like, yo, he know how to tell a story. Like his voice gives me like sitting in a campfire, just listening to some old guy or some elder give a story or advice, and you're just soaking it in. That's what it gives.
Yes.
Well, his audio book. So his audio book.
Phenomenal.
You're the best show.
Ooh, it's crazy. Believe it or not, I didn't watch too much TV this year because so much was going on.
That's good.
But what did I? Ooh, I'm trying to think. What did I end up tapping into when I had time? Yeah, I didn't watch too much TV this year. I don't even have an opinion on it.
Oh no, that's good though. That's cool. You don't have to watch TV. Mine was Little Fires Everywhere with Kerry Washington and Reese Witherspoon. If you have not seen it, that show
I
was
need to.
good.
I'm taking suggestions.
It was definitely fitting of the times of what was going on.
Okay.
You haven't seen it?
No, because this
Oh,
year was just so much. Like it was so much going on. I
oh
just
no,
forgot
no, yeah,
to
I
turn on
understand.
TV.
Madison, when you get a chance, definitely watch Little Fires Everywhere and tell me what you think. I
I
do not
definitely
let
will. I've been
I
taking
definitely do
suggestions.
not let people down in a TV show. So
Yes.
definitely watch it and let me know when you finish it. I want to know everything that you felt, even when during it, even when you like, yo, this girl right here, I'm about to get her. When you feel like
I
that, you
definitely
let me know.
will.
So good. I would not tell you a lie. Lastly, what is your the best movie of the year?
Mm. What came out this year? Oh my
Of a good movie.
goodness.
Okay, well, I'll give you a couple on my honorables.
Okay.
Bad Boys for Life came out this year.
That was this year?
That was this year. It was
See,
earlier.
2020 felt so long.
Yeah, it was earlier this year, but it was.
Okay.
It came out January, I think. It was like the beginning of the year, the top of the year.
Okay.
And I was so excited for Bad Boys because I'm a Bad Boys fan. I'm a Martin Lawrence fan. I'm a Will Smith fan.
Me too. I love
Yeah,
them.
I love them.
My parents really enjoyed it. They got to go see it. They really liked it.
Yeah, I was going to go see it too because I was going to put my money into them. I knew it was going to be good.
Period.
Those were my. Oh, and then The Invisible Man came out this year. Loved The Invisible Man. But my best movie, I'm gonna have to give it to Ma Rainey's. I'm gonna have to give it to her.
What's it called?
Ma Rainey's, Black Bottom, the one with Viola, the one that just came out.
Oh my God. See,
I'm gonna give it to her.
I have not watched much this year. I just feel like turning on the TV for me this year has just been so depressing. So I think that's what kind of kept me away from it. I kind of got into like 1, my academic bag, 2, my business bag, and 3, learning some more about me. So that's kind of why I think I was away from the TV. But you know what? Now that all the semester's over, all of that's gone. I'm taking so many suggestions. I'm ready to watch TV.
Look, I don't even know what to do with myself. I've been like, no, I do know what to do because I'm just resting. And then
yes, come on, Brad.
The top of the year, I'm gonna start harder. I mean, I'm doing little steps, but the top of the year, I'm going harder because after this whole year in the middle of a pandemic, and your school is, we ain't gonna go talk about it on the live. We ain't gonna talk about your school.
Eggy pride, y'all.
Yeah, eggy pride. Just know that A&T, boy, y'all, boy, I'm trying to tell you, the ghetto came out of me a few times, but I got out of there. So, yeah. So since you're here, Maddie, I didn't tell you this, but usually during my shows, I play a game.
Okay.
With my guests. And since you're a guest, I have to play one of my games with you. So we're going to do a little Christmas trivia. I'm going to give you 5 questions.
Cool.
Give me the best answers. Okay?
Okay. Yes.
All right. So, first question. How many reindeer pull Santa's sleigh? Is it
7, right?
Oh, you already got it. Oh. No, you didn't. I lied. 7, 9, 8, or 10.
Isn't it 8 with Rudolph?
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Yes, that is.
They tried not to include my man because of his nose.
Okay. Which of Santa's reindeer is named after another animal? Is it Donner, Cupid, Vixen, or Blitzen?
I want to say Vixen.
Hey, another one. Okay. Third one. What does Cindy Lou Who give the Grinch's dog Max at the end of the movie?
Oh my God.
Is it Who Hash, a slice of roast beast, green eggs and ham, or a wishbone?
Was it a wishbone? I need to go back and watch it. Oh my God.
Green eggs and ham.
And ham. Dr. Seuss.
Okay. You got 2 more. Your last two. What Christmas-related item did the founders of Hallmark invent? Is it ornaments, gift wrap, greeting cards, or a Christmas tree star?
Greeting cards.
Gift wrap.
They invented gift wrap?
Yeah, they invented gift wrap.
That is so dope. Wow.
Okay, last question. This is for my other boy. What Denzel Washington film was released on Christmas Day? Is it The Preacher's Wife, Antoine Fisher, Remember the Titans, or Fences?
And I know this too. Oh my God. I feel like I want to butcher it too. Is it Fences?
Yes!
Because I remember that Christmas when it came out.
Yes. Good job. Good. That was nice.
I did pretty well. Just a few, but I did pretty well. I'm mad I missed the Grinch question because I love that movie.
I love that movie. But I thought you said the roast beef. That would have been a good answer. I would have accepted that answer because they say it in the comic. I mean, not in the comic book, but in the children's book.
Yes.
But Maddie, that wraps up the show.
Oh my God, we had so much fun.
I had a really good time. You guys, make sure you check Madison Murray out on the Majestic Mix, available everywhere. All the podcasts. Make sure you go ahead and tap in, as Sweetie would say, and make sure you follow her. Maddie, go ahead and give them what they need to know.
All right, y'all. So he already gave y'all my podcast at the Majestic Mix, and you can follow that Instagram if you want to tap into that. My personal Instagram is Maddie by Nature with 2 E's, same as my Twitter, and that's all social media I'm pretty much on. If you see me on Facebook, it's probably for like some professional stuff. You can go ahead and add me. I'll add you back, but that's where you can find me.
All right. Well, you guys, until next week, this will be the next show will be the last show of the year. So, until next time, you guys, peace.